Good morning, my people. My name is Adebayo Taiwo Abdurafiz. So, the founder and the developer of DordStream. And now in this video, I'll give an overview of DordStream Studio. How to use the DordStream Studio. What are the tasks? What are the functions on the studio? So what you can use this studio for. So DordStream Studio is a studio wherever you develop your custom library, that is your template library. So for you to develop your own custom template library, so that is the main essence of the studio, so that to make it easy and faster for you, so that make development easy and faster for you. So now let's open this studio and let's see. So now anytime you want to open the studio, always make sure you open it, you run it as an administrator, so that you can have the full access of the computer of your computer. So now let's come down to start here. So from the start here, you see the application here, then you see the DordStream Studio here, then you right click, click on more, then run it as administrator, because you need to have a full access of your computer. So now wait for it to run to open. So wait for it to open. So now this is the studio. As you can see here, we have a file, we have edit, you have view, you have project, you have settings, you have music, and we have tools. Now let's see the file. What is this file? This is the file that contains the projects which you are working on. You have the file and the folder as well. So now if I click on the file, then I have a drop down which have my new, this I can see I have a new project. That is if I want to create a new project on this software. So now let me click on project. Now as you can see, it brings me to my project template, where I choose the template which I want for my project. I have a block template, I have a blank, this is blank, that means you have an empty project. I have what application, then I've got website templates. Now so now let's check on the blog now. So after clicking on the blog, I'll specify my name, which is the name of the project. Now in naming the project, now the name does not support numbers, which is the digits. It doesn't support white space, that it doesn't support any special character. Let me see my new blog. So if I should add a digit or a number to it to show an error, if I should add a special character to it, this is, so now it doesn't support any special character or white spacing. Now so now let's remove it. I click on create, so that will create the project. As you can see here, now we have an solution explorer, we have my new project, we have an asset, we have a controller, we have a model, we have a shared, and we have a views, because it allows you to create your custom template using MVC architectural pattern. In the next video we'll talk in details what MVC is and how to work with MVC, but now I'll just give an overview of the studio. So now let's see. Now we have a new, then we have got file and folder. If I want to create a new file, or I want to have a new folder as well. If I should create a new file, here you create a new file at the root of the project. Now so as you can see here, the new file here, I have a JavaScript document, I have a HTML document, I have a layout which is the layout of your project, I have a style sheet, that is the CSS, I have a controller if you want to create your controller for using your MVC, if you want to create your class which is using the code, if you want to use your interface as well. Then you have a JSON file, then you have an app configuration. This app configuration is the file where you store your data with key. That means you store it with key, any data information data you want to use on this, the software, on the project, you store it here in app configuration and access it through your code. Now so let me just create an example. Let's just create a controller and let's see, just call it my home controller. Then I click on add to create the controller for me. So when I click on add, you just see the code it generated for me. So this is the pattern, this is the way out we write your controller. So in the next video, don't want to give you a full details on how to write your controller and how to use the controller as well. So now let's proceed now. Now as you can see there, for a new folder, if you want to create a new folder, to create a folder at the root of your your project, as you can see here, we have this is the new folder 4. This is to generate a new folder for you, so you can rename it to your desired name. So now let's rename it and see how do you rename it. Now rename it by using your you're clicking on your control, your right. So using your right. So now if I should click the right button now to display a control for me, where I'll make, if I want to like have my new file and folder as well. If I want to import, that is if I have an existing that I want to import, I have a file outside. So if I have the file outside that I want to import, I can have a file here and folder. If I want to copy, I can copy. If I want to paste, if I want to delete. But if I'm deleting, it doesn't permanently delete. So you can restore it back to your recycle bin. So to save to your recycle bin, so you can restore it back from your recycle bin. Then if I want to move, I can move. If I want to rename, so let me rename and let's see the name. Just give it, and just give it libraries. So and I press enter for it, so I can refresh it. So I can refresh it. As you can see here, I have the libraries here. So I can move it as well. Maybe I want to move it inside the module. Then I'll come down here, click on what, paste. Now as you can see here, I don't see it here. So this is where it was. So I can also delete it. If I should delete it, so I can retrieve it back from my I can restore it back from my so now let's see. Just tell me to save it. Okay, let me save it now. So now let's continue. So that's why when you're working, always save your work. Always save, because they are not in save mode. Always save your work. Then of course, if you want to import, that means you have a project outside that you want to import. Then you can come down to import here, so as to import your project. Now this is your project. That's if you have an external project outside that you want to import to the studio. That's when you make use of what import. Now they are called module, here in DordStream depends on module. If you want to create your own custom library, depend on module, because we provide a module which make your work easy. With writing 2 to 3 lines of code, it just solve your problem. So it is the module you use to create your own custom module as well. So but in the later video, we'll explain how to create, how to use the modules and the modules which you install. We have it open. Then this is where you open your project. That means the project you've worked with, or the one you're working on. So this is where you view all the projects you've created on this studio. Now let's see. As you can see now, so these are the project I've worked with. So I can search it here. So you can see it here, I can search it here. So now this is the one I just created now. So you can see my new video. So I can click on it. Once I click on it, it will show me in my So to show me in my Social Explorer here. So I have a file. So if I have an external file that I want to open, so I can, if I have an external file, so if I have an external file, so I can open it, I can close it as well. So if I have a folder so which I want to open it as well, I can make use of it. But if I'm opening a folder here, you can make use of the drag and drop on editor. You can make use of it. You can make use of the drag and drop on the browser. It is when you import it into the studio, that's when you make use of the drag and drop. So now this exists. Once you click on the exist to exist the whole studio, then you have got edit, you have the undo, redo, cut, copy, paste, save. But this redo and undo is only for the editor. If you want to undo and redo the editor, but for the browser, you either use copy and paste for you, because it doesn't support undo and redo on browser yet, but later in the version it might. Then I'll go view. Now if you want to view your solution explorer, you can view it through here. If you want to view your toolbox, you can view, so you can hide it, you can cancel it as well. We have a minimize, you have what called a close button now. So for here too, you can close it as well. You have a project here. This is where when you are done to publish your work. So we'll still come back to here. So now I have got settings now. So after you've installed this studio, then you've hosted your website on your IIS. The next thing for you to connect the websites with the studios, so that you can preview it now. So as you can see here now, this is the folder where I unzip my CMS. As you can see now, if I should move the console on it, it will show me that I should double click so as to open the file now. So once I double click it, so I can select the folders where I unzip the CMS, because when you're downloading, you download the zip file, so it's here you unzip it. Then I will now select the folder part now. So now then I've got a name. This is the website name on the IIS, because it will look for the website name. As you can see, you have got application. So this is the application name. So this is the application name. Then I've got they have got application pool. So you have to connect it with the pool. You can see it here. So this application pool. This application pool I hosted the website on. So I have to connect it together so that I can preview, so that I can preview it on the browser. So now you have a code here. You have a mobile, you have a template, you have a desktop here. Or the code here, this is where it shows my code. That is to show my code here, so that if I want to make changes through my editor, this is where I'll click, so that will show me the generated code. They have a mobile view. This is where to view it on the mobile. So this is where you give me a mobile view for the mobile device. This is where you give me a tablet view, and this is where you give me a desktop view as well. So now let's just use one or two examples of using the drag and drop, and let's see. So now I can drag my choose box depending on how I want it. Now let's see. Let me come down to plugin, so I can search. I can give a search now, so as to search for the tag I want to make use of. Because here and in this choose box here, let me give example of the choose box first. So that as you can see, choose box here, we've got HTML tags. This HTML tag consisting of what? All the HTML tag we have. They are called DS HTML tag. This gives us what the DordStream HTML tag, because DordStream has its own HTML tag as well. These are all the DordStream HTML tag, which makes work easy for you. That's if you're working with your blog or your website, that's where you make use of your DS HTML tag, because you use it with your HTML. So it just serves as the HTML helper to extend the function of the HTML. They have got a bootstrap. These are all the bootstrap tags of the bootstrap class we have. For the style, for the event, for the plugins, for the attribute, for DS attribute as well. So these are the DS attribute. So now let's use a plugin as an example. Now there I have a button now, so I can drag it and drop it here. So I can. So if I want to make any changes on it through the browser here, I'll just double click. Once I double click, a control will show for me where I will make a live changes on the control now. So now let's see. Let's just make example of let me just change the color so as to see. So you can see here I have a live preview. So anytime you are changing, anytime you are making a change here, so always press enter so as to make the changes to reflect. So anytime you're working here, always save it, click on save, because it is not in auto save mode. Always save your work, so always click on save to save your work. so that you won't lose your work. So another thing about this software, this studio, is that it also generates a code for you. So now let's say I want to perform an event when click occur on. So I want an event to occur on the on this button. Now once I double click, so I'll come down to what we have an attribute here. This for the HTML attribute. We have for the events, this for the event, and this for the this for the DordStream attribute. Now we should make use of it. This for the general, for the start sheet. Now as you all know, we have a general background, margin, border. Those are the CSS properties here. Then now let's see the event. Now I can come down here and search. I want to search on clicking, and then so once they click on it, what happen? I want it to generate for me, so that an event will happen. So once I want to double click on the control now, and on the text box now, so you can see I have a text box here. So once I double click on it, this is generate a code for me. Generate once I check it, you see it generates a controller for me, which is name it. It will name it the name of the file, which is what your layout.ds. Then it will generate a model for me, which is my your layout.javascript, because MVC really support. It allows you to create a single page application, which refresh the part of the of the browser instead of refreshing the browser. It is the part of the browser. So it is the JavaScript which serves as your model, which serves as where you transfer the data from the view through the controller. Now as you can see it here, now I have my invoke. Then this is my layout controller. This is how I declared. But in the next video, we'll explain in more details on how to work with your MVC. So now let's just give an insight of it. So now let's see. Now I use an event. This event is generated for me, which is clicking now. Then they have to invoke it and get a get value. This get value is the method, is the function you create on the controller, which you can see, which declare with a function keyword. Have a function. Then I will call this get value, and this is the value. So I want it to return the values for me. So that's why I make use of get values, and I want it to return I am a developer. So I can also retrieve the data from the view, so that I can use so that you can use get by ID, so to get the data and input here. So now let's see for us now let's build it and let's see the changes now. So once you click on build, so as to compile everything for you, so that you can access it directly through your browser. So now let's refresh the browser, so that everything will be as you can see, it shows you build successfully and server committed. This server committed is that's for you to commit it on your IIS server, so it will refresh it for you, so that you can preview the changes now. So now as you can see it here, now we have it here. So once I click it here, it shows me I am a DordStream developer. So it shows me the input value which I input here. You see I input here I am a. Okay, now let's make another changes now. Let's see, I am DordStream developer learning. So that's for you to see the you can use your Ctrl S to save it, or you can click on save here. So now let's build it again. As you can see it now, so we've built it. Now let's refresh the page again, so that you can see the changes. So I'll wait for it to refresh. So as you can see it now, once I click on this, it shows me I am a DordStream developer learning. So as you can see, I am a it's create a connection with the controller, because I said now in the controller to return my inputs back for me. So then I say get value, that's the name of the function. That's the name of the function here. So as you can see it here, and I said I am your DordStream developer learning, because I said she return my input for me. See now, this is my input. I just say I should so any time I have a logic here, I can create my logic in here in the controller and use my model to transfer the data from my view through, because the view is just what is visible on the browser. This is my view, I have a view here bottom here. So when I click on here, so I've like set it to transfer the data from the from the controller from the controller and return the results for me. So that is the main uses of what the MVC architectural pattern. So now I think you understand now how we can generate. Just double click on it to generate the code for you, so you can like try to make an example for it, so that you can understand it very well. So now the next thing for us now, I think I'll give a typical example of here. So now the next thing for, okay, we'll give an example of choose bar. Let's check on music as well, because I like listening to music, especially when I'm working. So that's why I enable music here. So you can say you can play music, you can select all. If you want to shuffle the music that you don't want it to play accordingly, you can click on shuffle. If you want to repeat, you can click on, if you want to delete all, just select all and click on delete all. But if you want to delete individual, just click on it and press delete button, so to show you delete it. So you can pause, play, next, and do the rest with the words. You can also minimize it as well. So here we have go to cut, save, paste, copy, remove, undo, redo. This undo, redo is only redo for the browser, not for the editor, not the browser. So now let's use the remove. So and let's remove. Let's say for example I want to remove this button now. So once I double click it and I remove the element here. So when I click on the remove element here, so for it to reflect I have to click on save, because you can't redo and undo on the browser. It's only the editor you can redo and undo for this version. So if I want to like to edit the text, once I double click, I come down here, click here so as well for me to make changes for the text. So after I'm done, I can like click it back so as to I can click, as you can see it here now. So after I've done with my work, the next thing for me is to publish my work. It has told you that I can install it on the CMS software for usage, because after creating your custom code library, so you have to install it on the CMS software before you can use it. Now let's come down here. So you can make publish in two ways. Either you come down to publish here, or you right click on the projects on the project. Once you click on the project, you have a called publish here. So you click on publish. So after clicking on publish, then you select where you want your published to be, where you want the project to be published. That means where the location where you can access the file, where you can access the published file, because it's going to generate file for you. So now I'm using here desktop here. I'm using the DGT hub for the location. Now I click, then can I click on publish? Then I have to wait for it to publish. As you can see it here, once published, to show me the name of the project successfully published and the time which I published it. So now it has already published now, so I can now view it. Let me come down to where I save this DGT hub. So as you can see here now, we have this is the published file. It is the DordStream extension, because your code libraries has to have a DordStream extension. So after you've published it, the next thing for you now to come down to the CMS and install it. So that will be okay. Let's give how we install it on your CMS now, by coming to admin. Then after admin now, by using your URL, let me retype it so that you know, so that the URL which you host, the local host which you host it on your IS, just search /admin, because you want to access the admin panel. You can only install it through the admin panel now. So now you provide the login, so as to log in the details. Now, so the next thing for us is to come down to the teams here. Then we'll come down to the teams here. Then these are the installed themes already. These are the installed themes we have for the banner. But for this project, because we don't have the full of what we want, because it has to have the banner, so that it has to have a picture with banner names. As you can see here, we don't have any image here. Now let me just use the image so that we can understand what I'm talking about. Let me just, so I can like create, let me just use this image. Let me copy this image. Once I copy it, so let me come down to here. So let me create an image folder. Let me create a folder here. As you can see it here, let me rename it. See images. So I have images here, so I can now paste it here. So as you can see here now, I've pasted this. Let me rename it, because it has to be in what? Because it has to be in banner. That is the, it has to be in what? In banner, either banner.png or .jpg now. So after that, so now I can build it. Then let me publish it, so that let me publish to the same direction, because it will override the previous one now. So as you can see now, it has published. Now let me install it and let's see. It comes down to new here. So let me install it. So now let me come down to choose file here. Then the location where I save it, desktop, dgt up. Then this is it. It has to be what? DordStream extension. Once I click it, now I click on upload. As you can see now, this is what's uploaded. Now let me now view it here, so we can view it here. So you see what I'm saying? Do you see that was this is the banner which I just added to it, but because I don't have any description about the themes, this is where you provide the description about the themes here. Now let me refresh it. So this is where you provide the description about what the themes from shared. Then you see readme. So this is where you provide the what, this is where you provide the description, because it is empty here. As you can see, that the description is empty, so that is why the description here is what empty. So you can now install it. So once I install it, you see got what themes install. So I can now access it through this site here. So you can now make use of your what, this is your custom template which you created, which you make use of it. So in the next video, we give you full details on how to use the MVC, and if you and we also have a previous video we'll talk about the CMS. If you check the video, we'll talk about the CMS. So in this video now, at the description we'll drop the link where you download your the CMS software and the DordStream Studio at the description now, where you download this now. So thank you for watching. So I think it's so sorry, before I go, we have a call this toolbar. This is where you your zip and unzip your file. So if you have a folder or you have a zip file, you want to unzip it, so you can make use of the zip and unzip it as well. So thank you for watching. So don't forget to subscribe. So in the next video we'll talk about MVC in details, how to use the MVC, how to work with MVC. Thank you for watching.